Hi, I'm Amara. Hi, I'm Alex.
Hi, I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jimmy. Welcome to Jimmy Baker Reptiles. Hi, welcome back to Jimmy Baker Reptiles. This week we're going to go over African imports. This is African import male number 2. He's got a really cool overall leopard coloration and color scheme. Doesn't look like a leopard, kind of has a wonky pattern overall. Kind of has just a bronzy and just a cool pattern towards his head. Towards his tail he's got this railroad marking and just possible hide markings as well, but we like number 2. He seems to be a good eater now that he's taken off, and hopefully this next year we'll be breeding him to another female that we have for an import. Alright guys, this is African import male number 3. He's a darker one overall. Right now I think he actually is in shed, otherwise he's usually a lot brighter, more bronzy. As you can see towards his tail, he's usually a lot brighter color. He's got a really reduced dorsal pattern. Nothing really bands over. Actually, looking at it, nothing really does band over at all. He's got some of those possible hide markers. Of course, we will never know until we actually prove them out. But he's just got a cool pattern, cool color, and we'll have to show you again when he's actually not in shed. Alright, this is African import male number 4. He is actually really cool too as well compared to the rest. He's got a little bit more dark pattern, a little bit more of a granity pattern, like a lot of the African imports on Outback Reptiles. Both sides really granity, really strong tail markers, and just a really cool snake overall, and really cool pattern with the graniting. That's number 4. Alright, this is African import female number 1. She has got a cool, crazy green pattern and color to her. Really wonky, crazy overall pattern as well. If you look at it, just all the alien heads are all over the place, elongated, stretched out, just not your typical alien heads that you would get on a... We actually have one that almost looks like Sid the Sloth right here. She's a big girl. She's a little rambunctious. She's actually breeding as well already. We're trying to prove her out. Maybe she has something cool in her. Maybe just a dark gene. Maybe just a normal. But you never know until you try. That's African import female number 1. This is African import female number 2. She's got a cool color, greenish color like the other one. More of elongated alien heads throughout. She really isn't one to open up now. But I think if we do end up proving this gene out, I think we might calling it Sid or a Sloth gene, just because it improves a lot of these little Sid the Sloth alien heads throughout, and little like just overexpressed alien eyes. So that's just our idea, and this is African import number 2. Alright, this is African import female number 3. If you can see her pattern, she starts actually with a band all the way, like halfway down her body, and then it just, or a quarter way down the body, then it just stops, and then starts to go banding over the whole pattern. And it goes all the way till here, and then it goes into the striping again. It's a really cool pattern overall. I love her color. She's got a couple of the like small little quiet frecklings in there. Almost like a graniting pattern. Then it comes down to the tail where it starts to break up a little bit and kind of connect all the alien heads. Just a cool number 3, and we love her. I mean, we want to prove her out. Hopefully she ends up being maybe a Sid gene, because like we said in the other ones, they all kind of have a Sid the Sloth on them somewhere. But that's African import female number 3. Alright, this is African import female number 4. As you can see, she's got a really light pattern, really cool almost like a pastel or like a fire, like a dark pastel. And this is what I was talking about with the African import male, where he's usually a lighter color, and this is the color he usually has. It's a really dark pastel, light bronzy color, and it really pops. And the pattern overall is pretty cool. It doesn't really have any normal alien heads at all. They really all kind of single out or just don't have anything. This little girl is hopefully going to be breeding very shortly. She's right around the 1250, 1300 gram mark, and we're hoping maybe we can prove her out to be something, maybe an enhancing gene or a highlighting gene or just maybe a brightening gene. And that's African import number 4. Alright, this is African import female number 5. She's got a lot of elongated alien heads all the way throughout her whole pattern. As you can see, all the way through, they seem to chain link, and then they kind of just single out, and then they go to almost like ringing around the alien head with the white all the way throughout. Really cool pattern, really just cool snake overall. She's really taken off lately. Hopefully she'll be actually breeding in the next month or so. And that's African import number 5. This is African import female number 6. She has got a really cool pattern overall. Really a highlighted back pattern. Really just a bronzy overall color. It's hard to explain. It's really clean, really crisp. Kind of has like a, hard to explain, not a yellow belly because there's no flaming at all, not a highlighting up here, but just a really crisp, clean, like an enhancing pattern. She just really doesn't want to sit here at all. She, as you can see towards her head, they're just all around the alien heads, there's like a white hue. And then underneath on the belly, not too crazy, just a little bit of checkering. Just kind of like a normal belly from my understanding. Nothing too nuts. And that's African import female number 6. Alright, this is African import male number 1. And if you can't see why, his pattern is awesome, and that's why he's number 1. We picked him up, put him aside right away when we seen him come out when we unboxed him. He just has a really cool pattern with a lot of blushing coming up, a lot of flaming coming up, a lot of just granity pattern, and just an overall awesome pattern. And he blew up overall with size. He was the best eater. He ate right away. He didn't have any pauses. He ate every meal almost since he's been here, and for the about 2 years now. Can't ask for anything more, and hopefully he does prove out this year with our black pewter. He was actually our first clutch of the year. We had 5 eggs, and we're really hoping, like I said before, that he maybe proves out to be just maybe a subtle gene, or as you can see, something a little bit different. And that's African import male number 1. Alright guys, I would like to thank you guys so much for watching, and if you've made it this far to the end of the video, I appreciate it so much. We work really hard on these videos. It takes us usually more than one cut. We're going to have to make some blooper videos for you guys to see how many times we mess up, either behind the camera or from me most of the time. But from now, we're going to be working on our information videos, husbandry, care, how to set up everything, how to feed, how to take out the feeders, how to heat them up, how to entice your little snakes to eat if they're a little picky and don't want to eat right away. Little tricks and tips that we can get over and try and help you as maybe first time pet owners or snake owners, or maybe experienced owners that just can't get their snakes to eat. That's our focus for the next couple of videos, and for now, this has been Jimmy Baker Reptiles, and see you next time.